Hi everyone. Last live of the week, Thursday nights. I have to wait for a few people to join because I feel like I'm talking to myself. How are you guys doing? It doesn't let me know anybody joined. I don't know what's going on. Okay, we got a whole of 3 people. Let's give it a few more minutes. How are you guys doing on Thursday night? You know, it's long weekend, isn't it? Yeah, it's the last long weekend of the summer. What's going on with my... How are you guys doing? Hi, we generally just give everybody a minute just to get on before I start talking. My lives are regular, guys. If you don't know me, I'm on Monday, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Tuesday and Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We talk about mindset, manifestation. We talk about direction, about next steps in our lives. Good to see you guys. Okay, I'm gonna start. I know everyone's enjoying. It's already in weekend mode, right? Because probably a lot of you are taking tomorrow off before the long weekend. So what I want to talk about, yesterday we had the last fast of the summer. We did 3 weeks in a row, Wednesdays. Is anybody on this live who did the fast yesterday? I'm just curious. For me, I found it, yesterday was water only. I found it extremely hard on my body. Extremely hard. Like when I did the fast on, okay, so a few people did it. When I did the fast with the juice, with no meat, was not even, I didn't even feel that it was a fast. With the juice was a fast, but I didn't, have a problem. Yes, I had a huge headache as well. And yesterday was extremely hard. Really extremely hard. And I have to be honest, I lasted until the meditation. And after the meditation, I had some grapes because I felt nauseated really after that. And then I had some bad dreams, and I'm thinking I had bad dreams because I had this guilt about having the grapes, but I made it all day until about 9 o'clock, until after the meditation. Yeah, I couldn't, I don't know, I felt nauseated. And then I was like, okay, my body really didn't like this. I won't be doing the water fast again, but I'll be doing the juices. The juices I really, really enjoyed. I did organic natural juices on our juice day, last Wednesday, I believe. And I felt really good and really cleansed. So I'll be doing that again. Probably with eating in the evening, but I think if you go a whole day, from morning you just have your coffee and a few juices and then you eat at 7 o'clock, your body will feel different and will have a chance to process everything that it hasn't had a chance to process. Thank you. Guys, don't waste your money on this. It looks cute, but don't worry about this. No emojis necessary. So guys, who's in the 60-day challenge, we have had quite a bit of money manifestation. And I don't know if it's from my posting. I posted a video, I think last weekend about unexpected money, and it kind of went a little viral, and with good reason, right? Because it was all about changing your mind where the money comes from. And from that, I had a few testimonials. Oh my God, I got some incoming money. I got something. So just now on my Facebook group, one of our members said, I want to tell you that today I had an unexpected event. The person was offering me a contract, but because of the payment method, they are going to pay me for the whole year in advance. And it is something that I could make this time much easier for me. And thank you all. And thank you, Mona. And I was like, yesterday my accountant called me and he said the government owes you back some taxes from 2019. And I was like, oh my God, I know it's just my money, but it feels really good when you get a call that the government owes you. So, we're having some unexpected money pop up, and I'm beginning to think the more we talk about these things, the more they pop up in our lives, which is the way it's supposed to be and the way the whole manifestation works. If anybody else has had any amount of unexpected money, let me know since sort of last weekend, because it's good to keep track of these things, or just put it on the Facebook group. The Facebook group, guys, if you're doing the 60-day challenge in my bio, please join the Facebook group for the 2 months that you're doing the challenge. Initially, I didn't, it's not a requirement or anything, but it is important that, when we put our testimonials and when we put images of what's going on, it's important that you all keep your mind. I find it keeps the mind in the challenge, and the cost for it is very nominal. It's all available in my bio. I want to mention on every live that I have scammers. People who downloaded my videos can no longer be downloaded on TikTok. I changed that. Somebody asked, oh, how come I can't download this? I don't make that available anymore because people have stolen my videos and make fake accounts of me. Be very careful. I don't contact anybody. If you get a contact from me, it's fake. So I have to kind of just say that. I don't want you guys to be scammed. Okay. If you send me your life in images, which is from the challenge. If you send me your life in images, it has to be in a picture format, please. Don't send me a link to Google Documents. Don't send me an attachment. I won't open it. So please screenshot your life in images if you want me to give you feedback on how they read. A lot of people do that. So basically they send it to me and I'm like, okay, this is what the story your images are telling me. Is this what you mean? And many times it's like, oh no, but I actually mean I want this other thing more. So that's up to you. Just don't send me a link because I won't open it. Probably this month or as soon as we reach 200 members on Facebook, on the Facebook group, we're about 120 now. I will drop one of the lives that I'm doing on TikTok for everyone, and I will just focus on my group because I want to do more focused work with my group, the people who are on the Facebook, and we can get a bit more personal and a bit more coaching, like in detail. So I'm gonna save out of the 3 lives I do every week for everyone. I will take one off and then just do it on the Facebook. But when we get to 200 members, again, we're at about 120. So I just wanted to tell you guys, I don't know which one I'm going to drop, but it's going to be one of them. And also I decided to, my lives, I post them on YouTube because they're educational, but I also decided to take some tidbits and put them on Instagram. I haven't really used Instagram. I'm not an Instagram user. I post like a personal photo now and then, but I think, it can really, like, people are saying, well, your lives, they're very long, I had this feedback from my friends. I don't know if you guys find it long, but I'd like to watch something. Why don't you put some tidbits on Instagram? So I said, okay, I will. Like when I'm making a point or in something important, I'll put it on Insta. Okay, what else I wanted to talk about? I think that's it. Oh yeah, somebody posted in the Facebook group and said, here's a photo of me putting my life in images in the laundry room. I don't know if you guys all understood what that was, but my suggestion is your life in images, you can leave it in places for strangers to observe. Obviously without your personal details, without your face. Just post it there and put your initials, like my initials would be MK's life. And I would just leave it on a park bench or leave it behind somewhere for strangers to observe. And that's sort of like a practice. So somebody left it in their laundry room and took a photo of it. If you guys want, you can do that. And it goes back to that thing, if 2 or more people agree on something, it shall be done for you or it shall be done for them. And when somebody sees it, they don't know if it's real or not. So they're like, oh, okay, MK's life, So if it doesn't, if printing something doesn't bother you, you can just do this. But it's not necessary. Okay. Somebody asked, why does the work make us sad or make us cry? She said, ever since I started your challenge, I've cried a lot. And it's normal, it's normal because as you're making these affirmations and they're in the super positive, as you're setting these goals, there's several things that are happening inside of you, right? Number one thing that happens is your subconscious is rejecting it. And if you're getting to any point where you're forcing it and you're becoming successful in imprinting these images, the subconscious and the ego has to let go of the identity of the you that you used to be. And in letting go of that identity hurts, right? It's just like that person is dying off and you're mourning her. You're mourning the loss of her, like your subconscious mourning her, the ego's mourning her. And it's normal. Cry it out, let her go. and know that she did the best with the information that she had at the time. And right now you're deciding on a new you, on a new identity, on a new vision that you have for your future. And you no longer want to create your future from your past. You no longer want to create your future from the memories of the past, from the way you thought about men, family, your position based on your education and what job you can get. You no longer want to create from that space of whatever notions you had that life just works for people in general, because you are special. And doing this work, this is what you're telling the universe. You're telling the universe, I'm special. And there is nothing wrong with that, but there is a dying off of the previous person. So this is what makes you sad. Okay. One more thing I wanted to talk about in scripting. I don't know if you guys know about what Anno Mundi is. Anno Mundi is also called the year of our Lord. It's known in scripture as the year that God created the world. So this was used in the Byzantine calendar, and the year right now, based on that calendar, is 7531. Tomorrow is changing to 7532. Now, if you're doing the scripting and if you're doing the work with me, here's a suggestion. If you're making a declaration of something coming to pass by a certain date, I want you to put a bracket and put Anno Mundi, or Year of Our Lord, 7532. Why? So what declaration? So your declaration could be, I will be married by June 30th, 2024. Bracket, Year of Our Lord, 7532. Why? Remember how we talked about the structure being the creator, the formless substance in us, and how I talked about on many lives about us being able to imprint the formless substance, and also how others with energy, group energy, with rituals and whatever else they were doing since the beginning of time, they were able to imprint certain codes into the formless substance as to how things will work in the future for the rest who comes, right? This is the concept of these elites that have more access to the formless substance. It's easier for them to get by in the world. And the whole concept that the formless substance has been programmed, it's been left by God, right? But it's been programmed by those that came before us. And who they were, it doesn't really matter, right? So the people who use this calendar, okay, that the people who use the Byzantine calendar, and it's now the year 1732 as of tomorrow, those people are very likely to have put a lot of instructions into the formless substance. These are all the precursors of the Catholic Church and all those people who really, really knew how to bring forth a lot of the things that today we think of as miracles, that we think of as, they really knew how to take the information, or they were taught how to take this information and do their own manifestation. And they eliminated along the way everybody who could do that. Like, that's why they burned all the witches, and that's why, just to take control. So I wanted to give you some background on Anno Mundi. And this is to be used if you make a declaration. Just humor me, just use it, and let me know. Let me know, just think about it for a bit, and let me know how your declarations are going and how you feel about it. But I think it can't hurt. I use it in my declaration. I always use current year and then bracket, Year of Our Lord. So I wanted to share that with you guys. Do you have any questions on that? Imagine if it's actually the Year of Our Lord, 7532, since the beginning of the world. I contemplate this concept. So why not? It's just one understanding of the world. Doesn't change the fact that we have to function in this reality, and we have to function in this world, and we need money, and we need love, and we need health, and we need all of that. So whatever tools that we have that we can use, why not use them? That's what I always say. All right. I want to get to read a couple of testimonials, and then today I'm going to take some more questions from you. So if you have a question, please let me know, and we will take it up, because I haven't taken questions. I feel like I never have the time to take questions anymore because I have so much material. So somebody said, I watched your live yesterday and I've decided to restart the challenge. I was on day 19 and I was a little worried about not seeing movement in specific goals I had set from the beginning. Then it hit me that I needed to make a change. I started the challenge on August 8th and soon realized I was having trouble completing the daily affirmation. She was having trouble completing the daily affirmation, and that is something I'm very familiar with. There are days when I'm having trouble, or I was having trouble with completing the daily affirmation. This is something to contemplate on as to why you would have trouble to complete the daily affirmations, right? Like you would think if you want something, you could think of 10 affirmations around that fact to say, or to say about yourself in that context. But it turns out that sometimes it's difficult to make an affirmation, and it's good to note that point. Then she says, I started getting limiting beliefs popping up during my meditations. Things I thought I have dealt with before, but they are still showing up. Every time I felt good about dealing with one, I would get a new one. I had to start all over again. It was then that I realized I was still working from the back then mentality. I was working from my old beliefs, and that's why I was having trouble figuring out what I wanted. Because I was always thinking about someone else's needs, not mine. I was thinking about a relationship to have someone with me to pamper and love, and not the other way around. All my goals were very safe in terms of not wanting something crazy, and really something that I wanted because I thought was too much. I know all these issues come from the way I was raised, with a lack mentality and a patriarchal society that makes women wives, mothers, caretakers before worrying about themselves. I don't consider myself a hardcore feminist, but I'm starting to see the need to make some changes to what I want based on what I think I need, and I need to work on my self-concept. So I want you guys to understand that when you're doing this work, if you're having trouble making your daily affirmations, if you're having limiting beliefs popping up, all of this are positive signs of the subconscious speaking with you and telling you exactly the roadblocks that are standing in the way of you and your manifestation. Right? So this queen in the story is saying two important things. One, she's stopping to ask herself, why is it that her daily affirmations are not flowing to her? So right away, there's a conflict in whatever she wrote. Look at what she wrote the day before. Sorry, let me just decline this call. Guys, please don't call me. I don't take calls during my lives. So she's looking at the previous days, and she's seeing her subconscious is rejecting basically the previous. It doesn't want anymore, right? So look at what you wrote in the last 2 to 3 days and make the assumption that your subconscious right now actually thinks the opposite of those things. This is why it's difficult to make these affirmations. She's right about the second part. You know, we as women are always raised and conditioned to think about, to put the others first. It's also natural biological instinct, especially if you're mothers, to put the others first. What happens is if you become depleted, you become resentful, and that's actually going to affect your life negatively. So you definitely need to change this perspective about, like, contemplate about when you're saying I'm loved, I'm adored, I'm wanting, and you're making this affirmation, do you reflect that in your behavior to yourself or not? Right? On a day-to-day basis, when is it during the day that you reflect it to yourself that you're loved, adored, cherished, protected, provided for, right? When have you done those things for yourself? And ask yourself, and if you haven't, ask yourself why. Right? Okay. Somebody else, she wrote to me. So basically she was into this SP, just like everybody else. Then I told her, we talked, and she was just gonna go on the dating market again. And she's saying, she's giving me an update. She's saying dating again and noticing same patterns once she let go of the SP. And she wants to change the new limiting beliefs in her dating life, okay? And this is what she's saying. I'm trying to find the right affirmations to shift the paradigm around control. Something like the man I love always protects, provides, prioritizes me, but just allows me to feel safe and free to be me, because she's had a controlling partner. I'm trying to get the feeling of knowing it's okay to be cared for without them assuming they are allowed to control me. But you are right, the work is definitely in letting go of the SP. I can feel that, and I know it to be true. I would just like it to be easy. Okay, so queens, do not expect it to be easy. Okay, like I always say, it's simple, but it's not easy. It's not easy because you have to undo a lot of layers of conditioning. The fact that she's even thinking of the right affirmations to shift the paradigm around control. So why does she have a paradigm around control, right? It would be easier for her to think, I met a man who was controlling, and that man was controlling, as opposed to, in her paradigm, that experience has put all men are controlling. And now I need an affirmation to make sure my next man won't be controlling, right? You can easily assume controlling applies to a small percentage of men. And the majority of men, it is much more likely that you're going to meet somebody who's not even gonna think about controlling you, let alone try to control you. So I would say this, I would say check your breath. It's very, very good. If the SP is not in your life, you're not in a relationship with the SP, you're in no contact with the SP. You date other people even if you don't feel like dating. Why? Because as you're changing your self-concept, you're doing this work, you're doing these affirmations, you have to check the opposite sex's reaction or the same sex's reaction, if that's applicable to you, to yourself. Their reactions to you is important for you to know. To be like, am I meeting the same man over and over again? Is this guy, and date people for a month, okay? And see sort of this again, this is applicable to people who still want their SP, who not ready to date, don't want to get into other relationships, but date people for a few weeks, for a month, and just check their reactions to you. Is this yet another guy who's ignoring you? Is this, just observe it from an observer standpoint. Is this yet another guy who's ghosting you? Is this yet another guy who doesn't open the car door for you? Is this, just see, or is it something's different? Something's different. And if something's different, positively associate that with the work. Always associate that with the work. Okay, I'm improving my self-image because even though, you know, maybe I don't want to pursue this particular man, but I am feeling an improved reciprocation from the people that I'm dating. Right? It's different. Like I'm showing up and I'm giving them me, and in exchange for that, they're giving me great treatment. They're giving me better treatment than what I'm having, and so on. So I want you, is there anybody on the live who's dating, who's doing the work, and who has seen improvement or progress or in their dating, in the way the other person or the other people are pursuing them? You know, I talk too much during the slides because you guys don't comment, because I told you guys I want to get through the material, and then, you know, nobody's actually putting a comment. But there's got to be people who are dating, and there's got to be people who have noticed this change. Aaron says, been getting more attention from people, haven't been dating yet. I'm not even dating, says Tina, but some guys are telling me that they see me as wife material. Exactly. It's been more of a mirror or my limiting beliefs, said somebody else. Yeah, but that's good to notice, right? This is why you have to do the process. So the idea is not locking yourself in a room and not having contact with the world for 2 months, for 3 months, for while you're working on yourself. It's very important. That feedback from the matrix is very important, right? Because every day you're sort of going to see an improvement, or you're going to see a limiting belief. And you have to pay attention to that. You know, you have to, like, the process of improvement is facing these things. It's like, okay, yes, I'm getting better, but it's not yet what I want. Or, I'm getting a limiting belief, and where is it inside of me? How can I dig it up, and how can I eliminate it? Okay. What is this? Okay. I think that was it. But generally people are not really, but better response acknowledgement from men in general. Okay. No, that's okay. What my point is, you have to pay attention. Okay. The ones who aren't dating yet, the reason I recommend dating is for you to understand yourself. Okay. And I'm not saying date. I'm not saying touch them. I'm definitely not saying sleep with them. Okay, you gotta see sort of the other person's reaction to you. So it's not about being ready for another relationship. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about you have to have interaction with the gender that you're interested in, and see their feedback to you. How does that feel, and how is that different? So, I don't know if I answer this, the element of control. I don't want you, Queen, to assume that control is not even, it's not even an item for discussion. It's not, you don't need an affirmation for it. If you affirm for it, you're assuming it's there. And I don't want you guys to do that. To think, oh, I want a man who, knock on wood, doesn't hit me, or something like this. You don't need an affirmation for that. It's just, that's a limited, don't even think about that as being a possibility, right? All right. Somebody said they had a bad dream, and they told me the dream, but it's not really relevant to read it. But it was a bad scenario about her SB while doing this work. It was like SB getting married to somebody else, and it's just like really a haunting dream. Be prepared that in the process of this work, your subconscious, this is why I have a tab where you record your dreams. This is why I told you as part of this work, you have to associate the affirmations that you make and the dreams that you have. Okay? Erin says, I had a dream my ex was bullying me. I had a dream of my existing fiance at some point. This was last year. He was just like, cupping my breasts and saying, your breasts are too small. Okay. And I know he loves my body. And, but when I woke up, I'm like, that's a limiting belief I've had all my life, right? Like, it's just, they're not big. So then I was like, that's, it's your subconscious, guys. Okay. You have to understand, as you're making affirmations such that I'm perfect, my body's perfect, people love the way I am, your subconscious is like, no, your breasts are too small. And I'm going to show you in a dream with feelings that this is the case, because you've been saying that to yourself since you're 14 years old, and it's the same with this queen, right? The SB getting married to somebody else is the SB that you not being chosen. Why would you be his first choice? Why would you be marriage material? You've convinced yourself you're not for years and years, or you convinced yourself that men don't want to marry in general, or if they marry better women than you, younger women, more beautiful women, or what have you. And your dream, your subconscious is just showing you that. So here's what I want you guys to stay with dreams. When you wake up in feelings, they're not premonitions. They're nothing. When you're doing this work, they will pop up. Okay, if you have a lot of bad dreams when you're doing this work, those are all your limiting beliefs. Write them down, extract a limiting belief. I'm like, this is great, getting married to somebody else. My limiting belief is I am not chosen. I am not chosen. Why? Now you're sitting with yourself, right? That's why I told you this is work. Why do I think I'm not chosen? In fact, I should think that he could never even dream of marrying somebody except me. I'm the best option for him. I'm the only option. And I am definitely like, he's an intelligent man, and he can see that, and reason with yourself and rewrite that paradigm. But if you don't know the cleaning that you have to do, yeah, exactly. If you don't know the cleaning that you have to do, your dreams will show you. This is the beauty of the subconscious. It will talk to you through whatever happens in your life, through your dreams. It will just find ways to talk to you. It will talk to you via your code, if you're using your code, Ladiva says, I think I'm the best option, but I don't see movement, but I manifested him unfollowing an Instagram model. Guys, your boyfriend or husband should not be following other women and giving them attention. But I don't know what stage you're in with this relationship. Valerie, I still cannot remember my dreams. It's weird. I used to have vivid dreams all the time. It's okay. It's okay. Your subconscious might go into a shutdown mode as you're doing this work, because it's like trying to figure out what's going on first before it hits you hard with the limiting beliefs. For now, it's like, I don't understand. Something's going on. I'm just asleep. I'm going to sleep right now. I'm not gonna, I don't know. Yeah. It's just like, I'll be back. I'll be back online if she insists. You know what I mean? All right. So I got another email from a queen who was saying the story is too long to read, but the story is she went back home she lives in the UK. She went back home to a different country to help her father. Her father passed away, and she's been stuck in that country now for close to 5 years. And in this 5 years, she's depleted her resources and financially. And she hasn't been able to form a relationship, but she was just taking care of her sick father. And, she's basically at a point where she's reflecting back on life and saying, my sister, she managed to, get married and, have a beautiful home, but she won't open up her home for me. My family doesn't support me. I was the only one to take care of that, etc. So if you've gone into a life situation where you put yourself in the position of a savior, of a caretaker, of, if you've done that, note that, on your life path, that's, as long as that's what you felt like doing, you're enforced into it. And that's what she felt like doing, right? That was an important piece that you had to experience in this life. And that's okay. See it in that manner. Okay. Don't see it as, I wasted 5 years of my life. See it as, for my soul evolution, this was extremely necessary. Just seeing it like this will take you out of the state of victimhood. Okay. And you don't want to be ever in the state of victimhood, because you're not going to manifest anything good from that state. So if I look at this and I say, I spent the last 5 years in this situation because it was important for my soul evolution, and I'm proud of this woman. Disassociate yourself with this person that has made the sacrifice. And now I know that circumstances do not matter. And I know that I actually only need energetic support and to allow the infinite intelligence to work through me and provide me with the energy and with the circumstances necessary for me to change my life from this point forward. So for this queen, please, circumstances do not matter is your most important affirmation in this case, okay? Because you're stuck somewhere and you have to remember circumstances do not matter. There is a short video, I think it's like about 5 or 10 minutes, from Neville, that because in this case, this queen really wants to go back to the UK. There is this video on Neville where he talks about his encounter with his mentor, whose name was Abdullah. And he was telling Abdullah, I really want to be in the Bahamas. He was from the Bahamas. And Abdullah said, what do you mean you really want to be in the Bahamas? You are in the Bahamas. And you have to listen to this like 5 or 10 minutes lecture, because Abdullah goes to him a few times and he repeats the same thing. And the moment when it clicks for Neville that he's already in the Bahamas, things happen for him that, the time somehow he gets a ticket on a boat to go to the Bahamas, all expenses paid. He had no money. This was during the Great Depression, and he ends up being in the Bahamas, but only once his mind clicked that he's in the Bahamas, or Barbados. Yeah. So, Queen, you are in the UK, and look in my eyes. You are in the UK. I want you to think, I'm trying to get to the UK. I'm trying to go back to my life. I'm trying to go back to my friends. You are in the UK, and that's it. And come back to me and tell me you're in the UK. That's all. That's how you change a place. You're already there. This is much, much easier to do than an SP or anything like that, right? Because it's just, you need to dissolve this and replace it with UK, Barbados, whatever you want. That's all. But do the work. She was just starting out on the work. Do the work and see what comes up. Check your limiting beliefs, but do the work as if you are in your apartment in the UK or the previous apartment that you have. Imagine when you're at the computer, where's your computer in your apartment in the UK, and do the work from there. Every day you're doing this work from the UK, every single day. Then I get this message. I want a beautiful, loving relationship with someone who genuinely sets my soul on fire. I've been in past toxic relationships. I do not want a passion that stems from toxicity, but rather a passion that matches my own, as I am someone who is extremely sensitive, but that also makes me extremely sensual. I have healed so much in the last few years to recognize that my family doesn't actually want what's best for me, and it is up to me to step away from this. I know how to place boundaries, and I won't let any stranger disrespect me anymore. I am not ashamed of who I am, but I'm so scared that I will not get what I want, because that has always been in my past. But like you said once, these are just memories. Number one, guys, if, again, victimhood mentality, I don't want any of you queens telling the story again about people who has this. Like, you can tell me, it's fine, right? Because we're reading it for educational purposes. But when you meet somebody, like another man, another step in your life, do not ever insinuate that you have been in circumstances where you have been disrespected. Okay? This damaged good mentality, okay, is out there in the male population right now. And I don't want you guys to start off on the wrong foot. Not that you have to please men or what have you, but it's not who you are right now. Like you said, you made a decision, and he doesn't need to know about all your past and all the toxic relationships. You got to look at your relationship with him and figure out from the beginning if it's toxic or not toxic, or if it's going in the toxic. And if it's toxic, you just leave him. You don't start a relationship and tell him, hey, I've been in 5 toxic relationships, and I don't want this to be a toxic relationship, and I won't let you disrespect me, or I won't let you, because what he's going to think is going to be like, but me, I have to now earn her love. But, you know, for other guys, it was just so easy, you know, well, something doesn't add up in his paradigm, right? I want you to seriously contemplate never telling this story ever in your dating life. I know it's the case of many women, because, you know, we grew up sort of like, if you grew up in North America, right? You were told that you can do anything. And afterwards, you see that the relationships actually have an impact on your psyche, and the dissatisfaction that you get in relationships that don't work actually accumulate in your soul. And now you have to do all this work and all this cleansing and all this energy, right? So it's a real thing, right? We talked about 2 days ago about the residue that's accumulated in your energy field of other people, of the imprint they've left on you, of their toxic energy that they left in your life. You are now, it's only up to you to be able to clear it. If you haven't seen my live on energy cleansing, please see that. If you see one live of mine, let it be that one from August, what's today? August 29th, okay? It was on August 29th, 2 days ago. It's very, very important you cleanse that, but also it's very important you don't tell that story anymore. That's what I want you queens to take from this conversation. What if you already did this mistake with ESP? Should we revise it so you already know it's a mistake? Yeah, it's impacted the way he sees you. Do you feel that? Is that what you're saying? Is that why you're saying it was a mistake? I know it does. I know it does. And yes, 100%. Yeah. So if you don't take it from me, take it from this queen. It really does. And, you know, in a way, it is, like I said, it's not unfair, right? If you think about it, because this is what he's thinking. I'm here ready to protect, provide, and prioritize for a woman, but she's given herself for nothing to all these other guys who treated her like garbage. So, you know, it's very difficult to undo that. I think the only way to undo that is to show, if you've already told him, is to show this massive psychological transformation in your mind and in the way you behave 100% of the time. No clinginess, no moodiness. No, you're just, and you don't take any BS, right? You have a lot to offer at this point in your life. And unless that is reciprocated every step of the way, you will not, you're good without. Get it? So I think only by displaying a consistent and major self-respect behavior would that be able to be undone? But ideally, if anybody is just does have this background and doesn't have DSP yet, do not tell them. I want to read one more, and then we're going to take some questions. Where is it? Okay. So this queen is saying, I saved the best for last. This is a tricky one and it can be applied to anything in life. But in my case, I experienced this with my SP. Every time I held my attention back from an SP because he wasn't showing up the way I wanted him to, and he started chasing me because I'm ignoring him. Eventually, once he was convincing enough for me to give him a chance, an opportunity to see me or talk to me, turned out he would just charge me double with even worse treatment. As if all the chasing was just so I could give in. This gets me to think that it's pointless to run away from a person that you are energetically inferior and are attracted to, because it will eventually catch up with you. And it's not like I did no self-work meanwhile, but some people maybe you just can never outwork. No matter the upgrade, you will still be the one who's more attracted to them. I had to read this message twice, just to sort of understand where this queen was coming from. First of all, what does it mean he was energetically superior to you? So right off the bat, making the assumption that somebody, especially somebody you're attracted to, is energetically superior to you, automatically you have placed yourself under them. You have placed yourself in this subservient energy level where you just exist to serve this higher consciousness. I have never heard this concept before. Nobody ever said this before to me. So it's interesting to, sort of hear. I don't know if any other of you queens on this live have felt this about men being, what did she call it? Energetically superior. And she's saying, this gets me to think pointless around a person that you're energetically inferior, but you're energetically attracted to. So what does it mean? Is he more charismatic? What makes him energetically superior? I guess this is where I want you to stay, and I want you to really contemplate what makes you energetically inferior to him. That term, you didn't say he's just better looking than me. You said like specifically energetically inferior. So it's just interesting. I don't know. But this concept of you being with a man, this is what I want to talk about. This concept of you being with a man, him not showing up the way you want him to, a relationship dissolving, you manifesting him back, and then him coming back and charging you double. This should not happen to anybody that's doing the work. And I'll explain to you why. It shouldn't even happen the first time, okay? What happens in the first portion of the relationship when he's not showing up the way you want him to? What is happening inside of you is you're accepting things that your inner being does not want to accept along the way. From the beginning, from day one or from day two, from week one. So at his first point of transgression, okay, when he hurts you a little bit, when he doesn't text you back, when he doesn't show up on time, or he doesn't show up at all, when he doesn't ever bring you flowers, when he doesn't do the things that he should be doing, that you've observed other men doing for other women or even for yourself, and you're accepting that, that's right away going against your inner being. I want you guys to pay attention, because 2 days ago we talked about energy cleansing, and one important part was speak your truth. Speak your truth irrespective of the consequences, okay? I once dated this guy. I was dating him just for a few weeks, but I always observed that he never opened the car door for me, okay? And that was like, to me, it was important. And I was like, maybe he just doesn't know about it. So I'm just going to tell him about it. So I didn't actually work up the courage to tell him about it, but it so happened that the universe always gives you the opportunity, because one evening we went out with a couple friends of his, and this couple friends of his, they showed up. He opened the door for his girlfriend. He put her back in the car, closed the door. And I said, oh, look, like I really I would like that. This is something that guys do. And, like you've never done that. But I didn't say it in a criticizing way. I said, it's just something I would like. And he said, oh, that's just so old fashioned. It's just not my style or something like that. Right? So the moment I hear this, I can decide, okay, I can still be with this guy, because I can convince myself it's not such a big deal. But really what he's saying there is, she told me something that she wants, or a value that she has. And it's not important to me, but it doesn't cost me money, time, energy, or anything to fulfill this small requirement. But I'm not going to do it. Right? The way I interpret it is, if he's not going to do something that requires zero money, time, and energy. I was much younger at this point, of course. No money, time, energy. How likely is this man to invest in me? In elements that require time, money, effort, energy. Right? So if you queens are honest with yourself, this guy who doesn't show up the right way, that has dumped you, that you're trying to manifest, in this period of your relationship, of your quasi relationship that you've had with him, you have accepted many things your inner being told you are not the truth of what you want, not the truth of the way you know a relationship should be. Okay? And you're accepting it. And the more of these little things you're accepting, the further away you are from a future that you want. Because your inner being, what you're writing in her paradigm at every point is, I'm not worthy of this. I'm not worthy of the door being open for me. I'm not worthy of getting flowers once in a while. I'm not worthy of any of this. And it's okay if I don't have them, because I don't even deserve them, right? So you're going against you. You're going against you. Please pay attention. This is not a manifestation thing. This is a mindset thing. You gotta be honest with yourself, because if you can't be honest about the things that you're accepting that are not for you, just to retain this man, then you're gonna be accepting bigger and bigger things. Yes, compromise is a mistake. Compromise is just heartbreak postponed. And potentially bigger heartbreak. Okay, maybe you think it's not a big deal that you've communicated the need to open the car door and he said no, because it's just not a big deal, but he's not likely to do anything for you that's going to require time, effort, and money if you won't even open the car door. I want you, I was very young when this happened, but I knew this bug, and I was excited about him. I liked him. He was a cool guy, and I cut it off, right? Just for that. And he's like, oh, you're breaking up with me because I wouldn't open the car door? I'll never open the car door for anyone. And I'm like, okay. I just think you got to know where you're at, irrespective of the outcome. You have to come first. When you affirm, I am a priority, once again, are you a priority for you? Are your needs a priority for you? You know what I mean? Are you? Or is he the priority and you got to keep quiet so you don't bother him and upset him? So this idea that an SP can show up and charge you double should not happen, right? Because of this. Because maybe you were with him and you didn't accept some behavior. If you did it right, you didn't accept, and the relationship dissolved, right? But now you're manifesting him. Okay, no problem. You're manifesting him, but the version of him that would return to you would be would be reflective of the version of you have become by becoming true to yourself. I'm trying to say, only a better version of him can show up if it's a better version of you that's going on. So Queen, when you're telling me you've been doing the self-work, I'm not sure you've been doing the exact self-work, because I'm willing to bet that the elements that you've accepted the first time around, you're accepting the second time around. And, you know, like this is applicable to, you know, probably, unfortunately, the majority of the women I talk to, right? They've accepted a man they interacted for 2-3 years to just be in texting stage still, texting and sleeping, right? She hasn't met his family. She doesn't want to. She's dying to, but she hasn't. You've accepted that for 2 years, and now you want to manifest a better version of him. Well, are you still the girl who's accepting that? And how long are you going to be accepting that for? Do you see what I mean? Like, you really, when you say you've done the self-work, are you still the girl who's accepting the texting and sleeping, and one day he'll introduce you to his family? Everything we do is an affirmation. Everything we do, everything we say is an affirmation. That's why they tell you manifest all the time, which implies everything you accept is a manifestation. Every bad behavior you tolerate is a manifestation of more of that. Everything that happens to you on an emotional level, if somebody treats you bad, is internalized and written in your paradigm as something about you. Kaizen says, if you told SP about abuse along with mentioned consistent self-love, is there any other divine steps? Kaizen, are you talking about the previous conversation we had that you know you shouldn't have told them? Is that it? Is that what we're talking about? Because there are divine steps for you to eliminate that from your energetic field. And when you eliminate that from your energetic field, this will not be the story that comes through. I'm not sure if you watched my my live from 2 days ago, but there is important energetic steps you need to take, including speaking your truth, including moving your body. I've outlined like 5 or 6 steps: forgiveness and just inviting this divine light, because you need to clear the trauma around your energetic field. If you've already told the SP, okay, so the damage has kind of been done in that respect, you can reassure the SP, or as you're doing this work, and only if it's true, that that occurrence no longer impacts you the same. No longer affects you the same, that you feel you have transcended this. Again, only tell them this if it's the truth. That the work that you've been doing has helped you forgive and see things from a new perspective, and that you completely moved on, and that you're not identifying with that person anymore. That's what would be the best damage control. You know, I don't want you guys to tell anyone, any new man. You remember, you are the prize. You are the prize. The prize has not been used, thrown away, damaged, abused. You are the prize in his life. You can choose to be the prize at any point, but it's all about you, right? I know society advises you the opposite. Oh, you should tell them all everything that's ever happened to you. No, especially if you worked on it, because you shouldn't show up in a relationship being damaged anyway. You really shouldn't, right? You should do the work to undo that. It's also not his fault that you have been abused or treated badly. So you should have done the work to show up for him as an undamaged person. And he should do the same. Everybody should show up. Everyone should realize that until they process this, until they energetically, psychologically process all of this, they really shouldn't go to other people and expect other people to be their medicine. What steps should I take if I'm in no contact with my SP and I want them back? I want you to focus on, there's a bug on my phone. I want you to focus on only you in the circumstance you want with your SP. Watch the video I did today. What is it what's the outcome you want with your SP? You want a committed relationship? You want a marriage? You want to have a couple of kids with him? What is it? You just want him to text you? What is it? And then you're just staying in that reality without associating his face, his name, his person with that reality. And you have to say him or better. I am debating telling my SP I want him to drive to me rather than meeting halfway, 1 hour drive each. You don't need to debate that, Alexis. That is clear. He's the one who should make this drive, not you. Yeah, it's not even a question. Just say what time you're picking me up. Where are we going? What time you're picking me up? I'd like to go, to where are we going? If he says we're going, to this place that is a half hour away. It's not, guys, 50-50 doesn't work, okay? It doesn't work not only financially, it doesn't work. It doesn't work energetically, and it doesn't work socially, like in this case. A woman will always feel bad eventually, or subconsciously feel bad, or will not see a man as a man if she does 50% of the effort, whether that's emotional, financial, social, etc. The woman is the prize. You are the prize. You understand? You are the prize. Now, of course, you also have to think of him as a protector, provider, prioritizer that you have to be loyal to, and you have to accept, the fact that he's going to want to be in a leadership position. So I'm giving you sort of advice on how to step into your feminine right now. This is not necessarily manifestation. So, if you want a man who's a protector, provider, prioritizer, if you don't, that's fine. If you just want a 50-50 partner, that's fine. I guess there's a small percentage of women who do just want that. I'm talking to the majority of women who feel uncomfortable in relationships. I get emails, I'm uncomfortable with my husband paying 50-50 with me. I'm now uncomfortable with him, Yeah, of course you're uncomfortable with him. It's very unnatural. It's very, very unnatural to feel attracted to somebody when you have to basically pay for your own life, right? In this case, you have to drive 30 minutes. So he drives 30 minutes out of his way. And I bet you it wasn't even his idea. I bet you it was your idea to meet him halfway. He pays for everything. So I feel like I'm asking for too much. No, the payment has nothing to do with you driving 30 minutes. Was it his idea for you to drive 30 minutes, or was it your idea? I bet you it was her idea because she felt bad. Now, for this man, I'm not saying, we're the princesses and all this men should be our, servants. That's not it at all. We want to give ourselves fully to men who treat us that way, right? That should be the idea. I want to love him. I want to be loyal to him. I want to increase his life. My presence, I want to support him. I want to be there for him. And I want to make him my man. Right? Alexis says, I suggested it a long time ago because I felt bad, but I didn't mean it. I knew she was the one who suggested this. Okay? Because no man who's making the effort and paying for everything would care about an extra 30-minute drive, Alexis. Okay? It's all in your head, right? And you didn't mean it. And here's what happens when you don't speak your truth. You become resentful inside of you, like, I don't want this. You become resentful. So how do you say it to him? Well, don't say it to him like this. Just make plans, or, like when he makes the plans, just say, can we go to this other place instead? Make sure it's a place around your place. Like, can we go to this Italian restaurant that's 5 minutes from my house? I heard it's really good. Something like that. So that he makes the drive to you more than once. Next time also, like, want to do something around your house, or just something like this. Let's do that for the first time. But I knew, like, guys, don't suggest things because you feel bad. Okay. If you have the best intention for a man, if you don't want to use him and, I don't know, use him for his money, use him to heal your broken heart from your ex-boyfriend, in that case, I don't want to help you. But if you have the purest intention towards a man that you should expect, then you should expect him to be a protector, provider, prioritizer. If you just want to be loyal to him, and again, the attitude is, I want to contribute to your life. I don't want to say I want to serve, right? Because it's like, it sounds bad, right? But that's the idea. I want to contribute to his life. I want to increase his life. I want to make his life better from every aspect. I want him to be able to focus on what he's doing because he knows when he gets home, he has a warm environment. I'm always there for him. He has somebody to call when he needs to talk about something. That's the attitude from when you're starting, right? And for all that, you expect a princess treatment. You don't expect a princess treatment because, you just exist and you're a user and, people should give you the princess treatment. That's a huge ego that will be destructive in the end. Any other questions? 8 o'clock. Oh my God, we don't have time for any other questions. But I feel like this was good. This was a good discussion. And this weekend, I want you guys to reflect the end of the summer, reflect on the fast that we've been doing, on the cleanse that we've been doing. Watch my videos on the energy cleanses. Reflect of going into the new season of fall in full strength and in full drop all the victimhood mode. Think, reorient yourself towards this new you. Renew yourself. And of course, it's a new year of our Lord, like I talked about in the beginning of this live. It starts tomorrow in September 7532. It's the year 7532. If you make a declaration, use Anno Mundi. If you don't know what it is, watch the beginning of this live. Will be posted on YouTube. Put your hands together for the 369. I am a winner. Whoever wants to participate. If not, that's the end of our live, and I'll see you guys Monday at 12. I am a winner. 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 I am a winner.